What things did you have to overcome in the business, and what lessons did you learn?
So I don't know about overcoming in the business, but I had to I had to invest a lot of time, especially because, like I said, I had a full-time job. So during the day, I'll be doing my full-time job, and in the evening, I will focus on this business. Some of the things that I had to do, to be honest, was because I'd said that I wanted to be a keynote speaker. I wanted to be a teacher, a trainer. I had to now start to do courses in those places, and I still am, right? Because I wanted to get better and better in being able to share my story out with people vulnerably. I needed to learn how to speak from my heart with no shame, guilt. I wasn't hiding anything. I needed to learn those steps, but I needed to heal also in my own process. So if there's anything that I overcame myself, right? I learned how to become a better person for myself. And that trickled into every area of my life, to be honest. I really had to. I went through therapy, all kinds of therapy, hypnotherapy, different things to be able to understand me and why I was showing up the way I was showing up, to become an empowered person. And from that place, it became very easy to give people power. So when I said, allow people breathe, it's because you too can breathe. If you do not breathe and you're critical on yourself, you're going to do it on other people. And I see a lot of bosses who are very tight-chested. They don't want to release things to people to do because they are afraid that they are trade secret. Forget all that. Honestly, yes, you can say, okay, but don't be too trusting. Well, I personally believe that the people that will come to me, I will be able to trust them because I'm a trustworthy person. So I had to overcome myself and my limiting beliefs around money. I had to overcome my limiting beliefs about people. I had to overcome my limiting beliefs around religion and how, it could affect my work or who I was as a woman, right? I had to overcome the naysayers that, I had people who said, so you really want to come out and start telling your story? Are you sure it's going to be? I had to overcome that. And some of them were family members. I had to overcome the fight and the uproar that came out of, personal people around me. And also a few of my friends who felt like they would be losing control over me once I become empowered, right? So you have this kind of people around you as well. I had to overcome a lot of that. I had to overcome my limiting belief about the things that I could do. When I tell people that my vision is to raise 10 billion people, the first thing, if I've told 20 people, 19 people have said, but do you know how many people exist in the world? 7.5 billion. I say, yes, I know. Maybe now we're closer to 8 billion, maybe 7.8. I tell them, yes, I know, because they think that they need to educate me that there's not up to 10 million, billion people in the world. And I tell them, yes, I know. I say, but just wait and watch my vision. Only one person I said it to who looked at me and said, your business will outlive you through generations. I said, you're the only person that flesh and blood did not reveal this to. Only one person. And I was so excited that it was one of the mentors that I had in my life. So for me, some people are just there to tell you that and stop you in your tracks because they can't see big enough, right? And me, I believe that I have the entire universe. God has given me dominion over the entire universe, which means that I might not even be asking for enough, right? When I say to people that I'm a quintrillionaire extraordinaire, I started from trillionaire, then I moved to quadrillionaire, now I'm quintrillionaire, and I say I'm worth $6 quintillion. They're like, what's this one talking about? They don't have a clue, but it's okay. It's not none of their business. So you've got to also overcome a lot of that as a business owner. You know that you? I remember a client that said to me, is it you that will help me? Because she was an older sister of mine, older friend of mine who believed that, me, small me, will not be the one to help her. With that look on her face, you. And I laughed because she still sees me small. She doesn't know the giant that I am. Not small giant, too. Hey, you can't even, I'm like the Chinese bamboo as a giant. That's what it is. So you've got to overcome that and all those limiting beliefs and all the naysayers and all of that. And then now you can focus on the things that you need to do. But focus on things per time. I'm not a big believer of, 10 years from now, where am I going to be? I want to first of all know where I'm meant to be tomorrow. Let's face tomorrow. Then we face tomorrow again. Then we face, because your mind cannot even think 10 years from now. it can't even see it. It can imagine it. It can imagine a bigness. It can imagine, but your mind only understands now. So even when you're talking to people, they'll tell you, make sure that you write it in the present tense, because your mind fully only understands your now, and your now is always perfect. Every other time might not be, but your now is perfect. Okay? So those are some of the things that I learned, right? After overcoming them, I now learned that, be flexible and adaptable. Don't say, oh, this is how everybody is doing it, so I must. Let me tell you one secret. I did a course with one renowned marketing guru in Nigeria. Everybody was, and I said, okay, let me do it. And I've done quite a number of courses, by the way, locally and internationally. And I did this course. And they gave us an assignment. One of the assignments was we should write to 30 people on Facebook, saying hi to them and send them. I struggled with that thing I did 15 people the first day. I struggled with it. My spirit didn't resonate with it. And so by the second day, I said, God, teach me what I would do that will resonate with my spirit, that will still give me the same impact, if not better. And I promise you, I got a leading that night. And I put it to practice immediately. And that week, I got my first paying client of $2,000. That week. If I had followed what that coach said I should do, now it must have worked for other people, but it just didn't work for Adeola, because that thing and who I am are two different people. So for a man who is a hustler, who is go-getting, but I was already teaching myself how to be feminine and how to rest in my feminine energy. And God sent me such a beautiful, brilliant idea that I downloaded and I applied immediately. And it changed everything for me. I promise you. In fact, I think that week or by the following week, I'd gotten 3 paying clients. That was when I started in my business, right? So I learned this also, that your coaches don't know everything. Let me put that there for you quickly. They don't. They will teach you what worked for them. But what worked for them, you've got to personalize. So when I listen to people, I listen to them. I say, okay, I hear this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do, because sometimes I even have more belief than the coaches that I'm talking to. I had a coach tell me, don't even charge, be doing it free of charge. I smiled. I couldn't even tell her that I was already earning thousands of dollars from that same thing, because her mind was not big enough, right? And there was no point trying to argue it with her. I took the advice. You would have thought that it was the biggest advice on earth. But once I was done, I threw it in the dustbin, because that wasn't for me. That advice was for her and her level. I had outgrown that level. So you will meet people who will say, oh, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it. But when you wrestle with it in your spirit, then it's not meant for you. Ask the Holy Spirit and ask your intuition, your sixth sense, to give you what will resonate with you and make your soul sing, right? And I'm so obedient. I learned how to be so obedient and trust me for the answers. The answer is not outside. The answer is inside. And I trust me. When I feel something, I hear something, I do it immediately. It doesn't matter where it dropped from. Once I feel it in my spirit, it's dropped. And especially if it's for people's greater good, I'm going to get up and do it immediately. If it's not breaking anybody or tearing it, and immediately I know that it's come from a deep place, and I get up and do it. So I've learned a lot to follow my intuition and trust it. I'm very, very big on soul work and not goal work all the time. Go. Let's be moving. I believe there's power, and I learned also there's power in stillness. More power in stillness than in plenty activities. Because imagine one idea you can get from a still place that you implement, and it becomes something that takes over the world. Imagine that. Then when you're flying, jumping up and down, who can help me? Where can I go to? And the voice is there, but you're not hearing it. You're too busy in your spirit and in your head to hear it. So I hope I've helped with the things that I've learned. And I'm still learning, to be honest. Aside the physical things, I've learned a lot of spiritual things and how to energetically also call my clients in, because I know what I'm looking for is looking for me.